Welcome, everyone. Before you comment something like, but clearly RDR2 isn't GTA 6 you idiot, calm down. This video is kinda the opposite of a rant. I will praise Red Dead Redemption 2 and explain why it's better than GTA 5 to me. If you only want to watch certain sections of this video, chapters are in the description. Let's begin. Both games run on the Rage engine, which stands for Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. While both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 run on this engine, GTA's version of it is vastly inferior. Just a few examples: the characters' clothes don't look like plastic in Red Dead Redemption 2. The lighting when compared seems like the games came out more than 5 years apart from each other. Look at some of the pictures I snapped during my playthrough. They look so good they can't be compared to GTA. Technically, Red Dead even has less system requirements. In GTA my PC can barely handle 60 FPS on these settings, but in Red Dead, 60 FPS is easier to achieve even with the textures quality set to ultra. I'm aware that, if I allowed these settings, I'd get more frames, but I hate seeing those jagged edges which appear, no matter the settings mostly, and Rockstar could have optimized the game better in 6 years and counting, but I guess making graphically broken next-gen console ports to make even more money from GTA Online is more important. Now, I know that this depends on perspective. I prefer Red Dead Redemption 2 over GTA 5 any day, but there's popular GTA 5 speedrunner Dark Viper AU for example, who has ranted about Red Dead multiple times and expressed how he doesn't enjoy it at all, which is fine. I'm not trying to tell you that everyone who thinks that GTA 5 story is better is wrong. I just think that Red Dead Redemption 2's story has more impact on the player the further they go, which GTA 5's story lacks in my opinion. You get to know the gang, most of them more in depth than others, and you feel like you lost something important when they get killed. When Arthur Morgan himself dies, you feel hopeless. The Dutch really doesn't give a shit about anyone anymore, not even his right hand, and Micah will never be stopped, and the gang will never be together again, the latter of which is true. In the end, Red Dead Redemption 2's story is an interesting, dark, and sad one. However, it's one hell of a story with many things along the way. Like the story, the characters are a subjective topic too. To me, the characters are more detailed and feel more human than the ones in GTA. Not to mention that there are a lot of them and they live together as a gang. They talk with each other a lot even outside of missions, and since they already have known each other for some time, they already have some kind of relationship with one another. That's what makes them feel more human to me. Arthur sacrificed his life for John to be able to escape with his family, and he always says to everyone that he's got less to lose, so if one of them has to die, it should be him. You are also given a lot of time to get to know them, so when a character dies, such as Arthur Morgan, and even Dutch, if you've played the original Red Dead Redemption, you feel like you lost someone important, and you feel sad. Well, not necessarily in Dutch's case, but you get the idea. You saw that character's actions and you might have liked them, but suddenly they die, and you just feel sad for them. Now, let me rant a bit about Dutch. In the first few chapters I liked him, thought of him as a smart leader, whose plan will eventually succeed. However, as the story went on, he became more and more of a narcissistic piece of shit who only cares about himself. Such as when Dutch just ignored Arthur when he would have gotten killed if eagle flies hadn't saved him in time.
We got one! A white one! Dad? I need help! I need help! You silly fool! Come on!
You saved my life more than once. To give mine for yours
It's as it should be. Come on.
We need to go.
You ran away.
Oh, I did no such thing.
Or when he just walked away, when Arthur was living his final moments at the end of the mission titled Red Dead Redemption without saying a goddamn thing.
John made it. He's the only one. The rest of us... No. But I tried. In the end, I did. Come on. Let's go. We can make it. Come on, Dutch. Come on! Ah!
If he really cared about the gang, he would have shot Micah right then and there. I don't think he needed Micah alive to escape the Pinkertons. He always talks about faith and believing in him and shit, but all along him and Micah were the ones who were betraying everyone. But in the end Dutch shot Micah, so something might have clicked in his head. Some dialogue in GTA 5, mostly the emails you get, are today seen as cringe. 8 years ago that might have been how people texted with each other, but today those are only remnants of the last decade. However, Red Dead Redemption 2 is mostly set in 1899, 114 years before GTA 5, or 122 years before 2021. The point is that nobody calls anyone Mr. or Mrs. in 10 sentences in a row, or says things like lamb, yella, fella and the like anymore. Speaking like this is partially what defined 19th century America, the Wild West, which is, you know, when Red Dead Redemption 2 is set. That's in part what makes the game even more immersive. Not just the environment, or how people dress, but how they speak too. They barely curse in this game. Sure, there are a few shits here, a few bitches there, but it's very infrequent. Whereas in GTA 5 almost every fucking sentence includes either fuck, shit, nigger, motherfucker, bitch, and the like. Sometimes multiple of them and multiple times. I'm not counting the radios as part of the soundtrack in GTA. That being said, I can only remember one song from GTA 5, the setup which plays during the credits. After you've completed the third way, other music is just ambient, whenever it actually plays. However in Red Dead 2, while there isn't much music in general, the ones that are included, play just the right time to be memorable. That's why the Red Dead Redemption 2 OST is beautiful. Just watch a segment of Arthur's last ride with the music switching on and off at random.
Things we learn. The building of a that's the way it is.
Really sorry for your son. It's a hell of a thing.
Our time is pretty much past.
My personal favorite of the soundtrack is Unshaken. It plays when Arthur dies, but not the standard version. This one. The song also was covered many times on YouTube. The Christopher Larson cover is just fantastic. There aren't a lot of various guns in Red Dead, only revolvers, pistols, shotguns, repeaters, and rifles. GTA 5 in comparison has a lot of more weapons and various customizability for them, like suppressors. In 1899 those weren't invented, only in 1902, however in the epilogue, they could have been used, since the last 2 chapters take place in 1907. I know there are bows, but still. In my opinion it's better that Red Dead doesn't have suppressors, because it gives the shots more impact. If you want to stay silent, you don't just casually take your gun out and kill someone with a suppressor, you get up close and stab them, or take them out with a throwing knife / tomahawk / bow. They could have added machine guns, since that was invented by 1899, but they only added a semi-automatic pistol with bad damage stats. To me, it's better this way, since if automatic weapons were in this game, then everyone in Red Dead Online would just buy it, and they could basically forget about aiming well. Rockstar Games is one of the best designers when it comes to worlds and maps. They've always designed their maps as a parody of their real-life counterparts, with insane levels of detail. For example, look at the Liberty City of GTA 3 and GTA 4. Which one do you think looks more like New York City, the city that Liberty City is based on? In my opinion GTA 5's map is cluttered and too open at the same time. Almost everything there is to do is in Los Santos. Some missions even require you to go to Paleto Bay, which is just a chore. Blaine County has almost nothing to do, it's just a path through to Paleto Bay, which itself barely has any activities. If GTA San Andreas's map would have been in GTA 5, perhaps it'd be less cluttered. In San Andreas, there is a lot of countryside indeed, but I don't think it is 2/3 of the entire map, and there are 2 more cities to explore. I guess in 21 years, states changed drastically. Anyway, Red Dead 2's map can easily be compared to Blaine County. It's huge as fuck, and it barely has anything to do. That's almost Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. There are some towns and random houses here and there, which at least gives you something to potentially do. There isn't even that in Blaine County. The point is that all of Rockstar's maps are great, but they obviously aren't perfect. Both of these maps are fine enough for me, they both have flaws, it's just up to Rockstar how they make use of them. Red Dead Online is better than GTA Online. It's not even an opinion, just a fact. Well, whether you like robbing banks or stagecoaches is one thing. However, you know those douchebags who kill you constantly with their oppressors, or are camping and on the lookout for you? Those don't really exist in Red Dead Online. You'd think having no oppressors and orbital cannons is a problem, but it's very much a good thing. This doesn't mean that there aren't any assholes in Red Dead Online. There are, but incredibly less. Here's a screenshot where insufferable fucking morons spawn KKK models and say racist and sexist bullshit in chat. Absolutely disgusting. So there are assholes in both games, just a different quantity of them. But aside from less of these idiots, there's a story in Red Dead Online too. The characters aren't as in depth of course, but they are still great and their voice actors also did a fantastic job. Also some story mode characters make an appearance, such as Anthony Foreman, who the player has the option to kill as Arthur, and Shan McGuire, who dies in story mode. If you're wondering why they are alive in Red Dead Online, that's because Online takes place in 1898, 1 year before the story. The modes available are far superior to the ones in GTA Online. The races are more fun, since you can shoot, or the checkpoints are targets which you have to shoot. The random events are interesting, at least more interesting than GTA Online's few events. The Blood Money missions have some great replay value, and trying to complete some Telegram missions on harder difficulties, while tedious, is satisfying when achieved. So, GTA Online technically has more content, sure. However, most of them aren't played because they don't give enough money or because Rockstar removed them. But on the other hand, Red Dead Online has a story, more vibe, less assholes, more enjoyable missions which fairly pay, and the biggest benefit of them all, no oppressor. And there's that. This was my appraisal of Red Dead Redemption 2. If you still don't know what the title means, it means that Red Dead Redemption 2 is so good in my opinion, that it could be GTA 6. I'm not that impatient for the next GTA to come out, because there's Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a better game in my opinion than GTA 5, and dare I say, it's Rockstar's magnum opus in many categories. Red Dead Redemption 2 also became my favorite game I've ever played. I didn't think Ghost Runner would be toppled so soon, but it was. This video wasn't a review, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 10 out of 10 game to me. And with that, thank you for watching. Leave your opinion in the comments below if you want to, and subscribe if what you find on this channel is entertaining. See you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.